So, guys, it's David here, and I hope you guys are doing well, and like always, are doing better than yesterday. Now, today, I just want to remind you guys that it is not wrong to change your life. It is not wrong to change your lifestyle, and most certainly, it is not a way to manipulate or to feel like you are deceiving anyone. Now, I say this because I used to believe, deep down inside, that you should not change for anybody. And I'm sure you guys have heard this phrase go around, if you have been self improvement or whatever, just lie from your parents, from your teacher, your friends, whatever. Maybe even your crush, be yourself and eventually I'll love you. That is the biggest BS funny enough, that I have believed for such a long time. Because the truth is, guys, if you are unhappy with the way you are right now in life, if you know life could be better, right? If you're perhaps overweight, if you're unsuccessful, if you can't read, if you can't pull girls, if you can't do just anything, then change is perhaps overdue. Right? That is literally the truth. Change is overdue. But for whatever reason, perhaps you believe that change is something illegal because you don't want to be a deceiver, you don't want to come off as manipulative, you don't want to be fake and inauthentic because the world has fed you this propaganda bullshit. The truth is, it is not wrong to change. And most cases, people think change is wrong because it challenges their identity. It challenges who they are. If you're an introvert, change could be scary because you believe that you are shy. You believe you are timid. You believe that you are conservative and perhaps you enjoy to live in solitude. But deep down inside, there's this desire to fit in. There's the desire to know exactly what people are talking about, to be involved in conversation. I can say this confidently because I feel like this. I can say that I was an introvert. Growing up, I was always the outcast in my class because I was this overweight Asian kid, right? Wearing glasses and literally nobody wants to be around them. Perhaps I smelled. Maybe my hygiene wasn't in check. I definitely bit the shit out of my nails. So I was this kid, I felt outcasted and I was never involved. Therefore, I stuck to myself. And throughout my whole entire school life, it was pretty much like that. And I refused to change. I refused to change because I thought I shouldn't change, that I should be happy the way I was, that I should be comfortable in my skin, but really that is just bullshit reasons and ways for me to cope. Because the reality is, when I understood or when I knew that my life was in my control, that all the decisions I make in this point forward will lead to a different outcome, then I understood something. I want to change, and my life was due to change. And funny enough, when I changed, life got better. More people approached me, I had more opportunities, and most importantly, I felt better about myself because no longer did I feel like I was trapped, as if I was born into this, mediocre, and this is like a genetic disease, right? Where like you are just born poor, you're born fat, you're born this and that, you're born ugly, and you're just like, what the shit? Like, why am I even living? And it just feels like your life has been rigged since the day you were born. And when you understand that you have control, though, like the game changes, like the literally game changes. So whenever anyone out there tells you that, don't change for anyone, just put a tape on their mouth and tell them to just F off, because literally they are just gatekeeping you from the potential you could have in this life. Now, I say that people, again, don't want to change because they feel like it's fake. Hear me out. When I changed first, right? When I started going to the gym, when I started to, do things I never done before, like work on my mannerism, work on how I could talk better, to be more interested in other people than just to care about myself. All those felt so fake at the beginning. And that is very natural because I am literally learning a new skill. And just nothing comes to you naturally, right? Unless you are talented in this thing. Like maybe you are talented at cooking. So when you pick up the, walk and spatula, you can do things, whatever. But in the beginning, you still have to learn, right? This is the inescapable truth. So it just amazes me that people think is inauthentic to change their way of life, their way of being, but is not inauthentic to learn a new skill that they were not born to do. It's like you telling a freaking doctor, oh, you're being fake because you're learning how to do surgery procedures on people when you were not born to do this shit. Like, you know how just stupid that sounds? Exactly. Because it is. So change, right? Anything. You just don't treat changing your life, like yourself, as something just completely different from learning a new skill, because that literally is what you're doing. You are just simply learning a new skill that you were not efficient and proficient at before. And you're getting better at it by practicing this in real world experience, just like anything else. And once again, never hold onto your identity so tight and pedestal that shit, because I feel like that is the reason why people are so afraid to change also, because it is like, I'm not myself. Like, I'm not being who I think I am. I'm an introvert, therefore I shouldn't talk to people. Like, no, you're not an introvert. Nobody is born an introvert. Nobody is born, better than anyone else. Everyone's born with default status, right? Yes, environment may have shaped you either towards an extrovert, introvert, smart, maybe a little bit dumb, whatever, right? Environment may have shaped you into that, but it's not going to say that you are permanently damaged from that. You can outgrow it, you can change, but what really is stopping you from doing that is yourself. Therefore, you have to just understand and make the commitment that I am going to improve on this skill, whatever it is, I'm going to get better. And be prepared that initially it is going to be awkward. It is normal. Embrace that shit. Because that means you're learning something. That means you're telling your body that I am not just an introvert, that I am not just fat, I am not just lonely, I am not just stupid and dumb, but rather I can be this, I can be that, I could be that, right? And eventually you will become. And that starts with a change. So next time, when somebody tells you, bro, you should not change for this girl, that bro, she'll eventually love you, or that bro, the world will eventually accept you, tell your bro to just shut his face and just walk away, because literally he's holding you down and he's gatekeeping you from what you could achieve. Next time when that shit happens, focus on what you really desire. And don't lie to me, and certainly do not lie to yourself, because you all desire something. And usually our desires are shielded or disguised under our cope, with the stories we tell ourselves, with the things we say we don't need, when in reality we freaking die like we need it. Like, you say you don't need a girlfriend, but you watch porn secretly. Like, be honest with yourself. And when you're honest, don't be afraid to work towards that. Whether it is you want to build your communication skills, the way you dress, how you look, your skills, your physical skills, the way, perhaps even some business skills, whatever. Just learn on anything that you truly desire. That is literally my point, right? So that's literally my point. Just work on something you desire and just chase for that crap. And eventually you will become better. It's a time process. It may get daunting, it may become boring, and that's totally normal. But if you stick with it, your life will be unrecognizable in a few months' time. That is, if you stay consistent and don't become distracted with the countless distractions the world has to offer. But that being said, I am going to go improve on myself now. And I do hope you guys had learned something from this. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.